If you're looking for a premium set of headlights to transform the look and lighting performance on the front end of your 2019 or newer Ram 1500, this set of Apex Series high-power LED headlights with the black housing and clear lens will be a great way to do it. Now, these will be right up your alley if you're tired of the look or even the function of your factory headlights, especially if you're working with the halogen, whether you've damaged a lens or the headlight itself is just underperforming for what you need. Now, these will offer you a lot of confidence while you're driving at night with the bright LED construction. So if you're currently struggling with visibility, especially again with those halogen headlights, then these are going to be a big step up for you. Now, not only are these going to help you out with visibility at night, especially if you live in a more rural area, but these are also going to do a fantastic job of modernizing the front end of your Ram and elevating the look and the style while integrating the black housing there if you're in search of something that looks a little bit more stealthy compared to the factory chrome. Breaking these lights down, these will feature again, black stealthy housing for that smoked or blacked out appearance, but on the front, these are going to have a clear lens, so you're getting the look without compromising the lighting performance. Now, speaking of the lighting, this will be a full LED setup, which will be very efficient and long-lasting with an upper and lower bright white daytime running light bar and an amber strip on the bottom for the switchback sequential turn signal function. Now, that's going to make you a lot more noticeable on the road to other drivers for safety, but also for styling. Now, the star of the show here is the large LED projector lenses right in the middle for the high and low beam. Now, the upgraded projector lens will offer a concentrated, concise, and incredibly clear beam pattern, as well as a bright white color temperature to again give that modern feel and help out when it comes to visibility at night. In addition to all of those features, these will be built to last with a heavy-duty black plastic housing and a tough clear lens on the front, which will keep up to OE standards for factory-like fitment. Now, the housing and the lens will also have a quality seal to eliminate any moisture or micro-contaminants getting into the light, causing any fogging or potential damage to the LEDs. Now, the LEDs inside will also be incredibly efficient, so this will use less power, lasts 10 times longer than a standard halogen bulb, and ultimately won't require maintenance over time. Now, the set will also be DOT and SAE approved, and the best part of all is how easy these are to get into your Ram with the completely plug and play and no modification required install. Now, these will come in at roughly $1,300, putting these at a premium price point for a set of headlights. Now, what I will say, although these do have a higher price tag from what I just covered, these are going to have a very long list of benefits that will offer style, performance, and longevity and durability, making them a great set to invest in if you want an easy, non-hassle way to upgrade the look and the functionality of your Ram 1500. Now, install will be straightforward. I'm going to give it a lighter 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it's probably going to take you about an hour to get the job done with the right tools and setup. Now, at this point, we can head over to the shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how to get these onto your Ram 1500 at home. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a clip remover tool, a T25 Torx driver, 8 and 10 millimeter sockets, a 10 millimeter ratcheting S-wrench, and some microfiber towels. What's up, guys? Today we're installing a set of headlights on our Ram. First, we're going to watch a quick video for how to remove your stock headlights, and then we'll meet you right back here for the install.
So for this install, you're going to need to pop your hood, remove your upper rad cover, the grille, and some of the surrounding trim. It's a pretty simple process. I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. So let's get started. So we're going to start by removing our upper rad cover. There's a bunch of plastic clips that need to be removed, so I'm going to use my plastic clip removal tool and pop the heads of them open. And then once I get those all removed, I can pull the panel off. And we're gonna pull this panel right off. The next piece we need to remove is the headlight trim and grille trim here on the top of the vehicle. It's a combination of a pop clip and 10 millimeter screws. So I'm gonna use my clip tool once again and a 10 mil socket to pull all of these out, and then I can just remove this piece from the vehicle. Next, I'm gonna use my 8mm socket to remove some of the screws here on the inner wheel well and pull the liner back to expose a little bit more hardware that's hiding behind the liner so I can get this panel off that surrounds the headlight. So now that I have the liner pulled back, I've exposed this 10mm bolt here inside the wheel well liner, and I'm gonna use my 10mm on a ratchet and just pull that out. Now I'll just repeat this process on the other side. Next, I'm gonna need to remove my grill. There are 3 10mm bolts at the bottom of either side of the grill, and there are 4 across the top. I'll just use my 10mm socket on my small impact gun, remove all of those screws, and pull the grill off. So now that I have my grill removed, I can go ahead and start unbolting and unhooking my headlights. I have a clip here at the top as well as a 10mm bolt, and then I have a 10mm bolt here on the side from the fender, and I'll just use my 10mm socket and my clip tool and pull those out, and then I can unhook my headlights. It's a little hard to see, but I'm just gonna unplug my headlight connectors from the back. Just push down on the tabs to release them, and then you can pull the headlight out.
So now that we have our stock headlight removed from the truck, we're gonna have to transfer over our lower cover from our stock one to our new one. We have 3 T25 Torx screws on the bottom here, as well as 2 more in the sides. So I've got a T25 Torx driver to remove that and swap it over to our new headlight. So now starting at the bottom, we'll take that Torx driver to remove our 3 screws. And then we can flip that around to get the first one on the side. And then we have our last one on the other side. And with all of those screws removed, we can pop our cover off. So now we can install our cover onto our new headlight. We have these 2 cutouts that are going to line up with these 2 tabs on our headlight. So we'll slide that into place, and then we can start reinstalling our screws. then we'll flip it over to get our 3 on the bottom. And now we can repeat that same process for our other headlight and get them both installed onto the truck. So now we can install our new headlights onto the truck. We're gonna plug in our 2 connectors first. Now these connectors are different, so you can't mix them up. And then we'll just slide our headlight back into place. Next, we can reinstall our first bolt at the top of our headlight. And then we'll grab our 10mm socket to tighten that down. Next, we can come down to the side and reinstall that 10mm bolt in the side of our headlight. And then we'll tighten that down with that same 10mm socket. And now once you have your 2 bolts installed in one headlight, you can repeat that same process on the other side. Next, we can reinstall our grille. So just line everything up and pop that into place. Next, we can come to the 2 bottom corners of our grille and reinstall our 3 bolts. Now the 2 longer ones are gonna go in the 2 inside holes, and the shorter one's gonna be for the outside. And then we'll grab our 10mm socket to tighten these down. And then we can do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall our plastic covers. So we're gonna line up these tabs and press that into place. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. Now next, we can reinstall the 10mm bolt that holds this cover down. It goes right there. You have to pull back your fender liner to get to it. It's gonna be pretty much impossible to get a camera angle on that. So we'll thread that in, and then I have a 10mm ratcheting S wrench to get in there to get the angle to tighten it down. And then we can pop our fender liner back into place. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall the 2 screws that hold our plastic cover to our fender liner, as well as the 1 extra one that we removed to get access to that bolt. And then we'll grab our 8mm socket to tighten these down. And then we can do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall our upper trim. Now we can reinstall all of the bolts for our upper trim, as well as the 4 bolts for our grille. So now we'll take our longer bolts and thread into our upper grille mounts. And then we can reinstall our bolts in our upper trim. And then we can grab our 10mm socket and tighten all of these down. Now we can do that same thing on the other side. And then we'll take that same 10mm socket to tighten all of these down. Next, we can reinstall our radiator cover. And now we can reinstall our 6 push clips per side. And now we'll reinstall our other 6 on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Apex Series high power LED headlights with black housing and clear lens for your 2019 and newer Ram 1500 with factory halogen headlights. Thank you for watching, and for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.